back to the channel. You guys, today I wanted to wrap up Ozempic because it is technically my last month on Ozempic. So if you are new here and you are not familiar with my baseline, let me just kind of go over things for you. I did get VSG surgery in March. So prior to that, I was being treated for diabetes due to PCOS and insulin resistance. So my doctor put me on Ozempic, hoping that I would lose a little bit of weight. I was a pretty slow loser with that as well. And then at the same time, I was starting the process in getting surgery. So now post-surgery, if you haven't watched the last video, I'm a very, very slow loser. I stopped losing large amounts of weight, probably around the 4-month, 5-month mark. And my doctor wasn't worried because I did initially start at a lower BMI, and he knows that I have insulin resistance and PCOS. Because I had some leftover Ozempic, he did suggest that I just continue taking it, and maybe that will actually help with more of the weight loss. So today I'm giving you an update on if it actually helped shed a couple of more pounds post VSG. So let's get into it and I will give you my update. All right, my friends. So as you know already, I am a very, very, very slow loser, and even on Ozempic. So I did take Ozempic prior to surgery. I took it for about 3.5 months, and I want to say I lost 12 pounds. And then I got VSG because I was already in the process of getting VSG. I needed to have something. This was not working. Nothing was working. If Ozempic couldn't help, I don't know what would, you know. I was at my wit's end with it. So we still kept going forward with surgery. I got surgery around month 4 or 5. I started to slow down a lot. And then definitely by 6, things just were hardly moving. So my doctor did suggest that I stay on Ozempic, and I was doing 0.50 milligrams. So it's been about 4 months since I've been on Ozempic. And when I first started it, I was at 183.6. And now I am 179.8. So in about 4 months, I lost about 4 pounds. That is a pound a month. Now, did Ozempic really help speed along anything? No, I don't think it did. The scale was moving pretty slow to begin with, but I found a solution fairly quickly, so I don't really know how the other months would have been without Ozempic, if that makes sense. And I would have thought maybe I would have lost a little bit more with Ozempic. I think I could have did a pound a month on my own. So I really don't think that Ozempic did anything to jumpstart anything. Now, Ozempic really did help with the head hunger. That was getting a little out of control. I didn't want to snack. I knew I was starting to graze. So it really did put all of that in line for me. And it continues to actually help me today. Anything I got out of Ozempic, it was really to not graze, not snack, just to kind of get it out of my head. So that's been good, and I hope that continues. I hope I have conditioned myself enough to not constantly think about food and wanting to snack. Also, sticking to the times that I need to eat. I have always been a grazer. I have just grazed on little things because I don't want to sit down and actually have a meal. And that is something I'm really trying to work on. You know, allow some time for my meals and not to snack on something, and then when it gets time for dinner, I'm not even hungry. Another thing that I gained out of this was after I would take my injection, the next day, I would really feel like I had a brand new sleeve. Like, it was so restrictive. And I kind of was torn with that feeling. Yes, I think that it's nice to have that, especially if you are someone who is snacking and grazing. I mean, you're just not even caring about food. So that was really good. But at the same time, when I'm trying to increase your calories and you are post-op, it's a little tricky because there's so many things out there that say, you know, once you increase your calorie intake, that you do start to lose the weight. But it's really hard if you're on Ozempic because Ozempic does not make you hungry. So I kind of felt like I was caught in the middle of these two things. Like, okay, do I really try to eat something and bring up my calories? Or do I allow the feeling of being restricted come from Ozempic and hope that that helps with the weight loss? So that was a real conflicting feeling that would come up along this whole thing. What I ended up doing was just really trying to stay, really trying to be at 1,000 calories. If I could not eat my calories, I would just bulk up my green drink. So the one that I had shared earlier, the recipe that I had shared, I think it was during maybe a Vlogmas, where I showed how to make my green drink, that was kind of in the middle. Now, there is another way that I make it that's more calorie dense because, specifically for me, I won't be able to eat a lot of food because of Ozempic. So I would mostly rely on bulking up the foods that I could eat, like a liquid, a yogurt, a smoothie, bulking that up in calories. Now, only staying within 1,000 calories, did that actually help? I don't know. I don't know what my perfect number is for calories yet. I would assume I have to just kind of play with it, but it's just so weird. It's so weird how you're able to figure that out where you can still lose weight and, have a decent amount of nutrients. So I'm still working on that. I don't really know. But I do know I can comfortably take in 1,000 calories a day and I'll be fine. And also, like I said, I'll probably only lose a pound a month, but it's better than I would spend years and I would only gain. So losing a pound a month is totally fine with me. A couple of things that didn't happen this time around with having VSG that did happen prior to getting surgery was sulfur burps. I had complained when I had my whole tummy, I complained that I would get sulfur burps. And it was really strange that with a tinier stomach, I didn't get those. I never once got sulfur burps. Also, constipation, that was a huge thing. I would always go to my calm drink and that would really help me. I did start to get a little constipated, especially when I kicked it up to 0.50, but luckily I have my green drinks, I have my probiotic that I take every day, I also have my calm drink, so I was able to quickly remedy that, and I have been normal ever since I have incorporated these things and stayed consistent with them. So that's not been a problem this time around. Another thing was headaches. I was lucky enough to only get a headache on the injection days. I'd feel a little wonky. I'd feel like I definitely had some type of medication inside of me, but it would go away. It would be like a head pressure and then it would go away. Well, this time around, post VSG, I ended up getting headaches quite a bit. I didn't get the head pressure. It would just turn immediately into a throbbing headache. So I would just make sure I was staying on top of my water and that it wasn't like a dehydration thing. And I would take some Tylenol and hope that it would go away. So that actually happened quite a bit. There were times too where it was my fault. I forgot to wear my glasses or my contacts and I would end up getting a really bad headache from that. But it has been consistently after the injections where it just goes right into a full-blown headache. Overall, I really do say that it's an excellent medication to even try prior to getting surgery, to try if you have surgery and you're hoping to lose a little bit more weight. It does wonders for the reconditioning mind. Especially post-op, because you're still having, yes, we had our tummies cut out and physically we cannot snack, we cannot over the top do it. But the head hunger becomes a really, really strong problem to deal with. You could prepare yourself as much as you can that I'm not going to snack, I'm going to fight those cravings, but they creep in. And Ozempic has really, really helped with that. Like I said, it just kind of turns the head hunger off. I sometimes have to remind myself to eat. well on Ozempic, and that happened prior to surgery and after surgery. Both times, especially on weekends, I get busy doing whatever it is that I'm doing, and before I know it, I'm like, oh my god, it's already 2 o'clock and I haven't even had anything, just water. So, and I keep my water with me all the time, just because I don't want to ever forget that part. But eating, you know, sometimes it just like, I don't walk around with, you know, sandwiches in my pockets. I don't remember to eat sometimes. So I found it really, really helpful because, you know, I was only, I want to say 6 or 7 months post-op when I started Ozempic. So I was still trying to break those habits of that head hunger. And I think that really did help me this first year get that kind of under control, hopefully. Now, would I use Ozempic again in the future, like future years to come? I think if the cravings got a little crazy again, if I was not able to feel that restriction, if the mindful eating went away, you know, if I was snacking way too much, the head hunger just became way too much, I can definitely see using it again. But in hopes that it's going to help me drop pounds, no, I don't have the expectation of Ozempic to help me drop pounds. It's just, my body is something different. It is just something else. It's not, it doesn't work like that. It didn't before surgery, and it's certainly showing that it's going to take a lot of time for my body to get to a point where it clicks and says, oh, this is how I function. So yeah, I wouldn't use it necessarily to drop some pounds, but I would use it again in the future for that appetite suppressant, for it to feel like a new sleeve all over again. But it also wouldn't be something that I'd be like saving up my money to get, you know, saving up my money for, or begging my doctor to write a prescription for it. No, there's other things that you can do. I mean, you can get chia seeds and put it in your water and feel full just as much as you can with Ozempic. So really just stocking up on a lot of fiber can pretty much do similar to what Ozempic does. But as far as like the brain part of Ozempic, the not thinking about food, not obsessing about food, especially if you're like me and you had a major food addiction, then you would find that to be very, very helpful in succeeding in this journey. So I would say, you know, yes and no. I would take it for the effects that it has on regulating my consumption and restructuring, rewiring my brain on not to look for the next meal. But I would not choose it for something that's like, I need to lose pounds, because it just doesn't work like that for me. And I don't knock, you know, anyone that wants to use it for that reason. Maybe it works for you and you're just able to drop these pounds like, oh my God, that's so freaking awesome that this medication can help you guys like that. You are just like melting off this weight, and it's the help of this drug. Like it's a really good medication. So there's the update, my friends. It's going away next month, and then we just have our tool to rely on, and I will definitely update you guys if like the head hunger comes back, how I'm going to be dealing with that. And we'll just kind of go from there. That's about it. We'll see you in the next video. I hope you liked this little update. If you would like to see anything else, just put it in the comments. I have been wanting to film lately, so give me something to talk about and I will talk about it. Don't forget to like, and subscribe. Be my friend. Boop over to Instagram. Be my friend there too. Okay, bye-bye.